Thank you for joining us this morning. We're going to be looking at critical product information that your sales team need. I've just got a few slides to go through just to kind of set the scene and ask some of the pertinent questions. And then in the second part of the webinar, we'll actually look at the Prospect CRM system and see some of this critical product information live in the system, and put that into real context of how your sales team can use that information to maximize their sales and be successful. So if we're talking about critical product information that a sales team need, obviously we're talking about successful sales teams, and if I were to ask what successful sales teams needed or what salespeople need to be successful, these are the sorts of things that would be required. And I think I would take it as read that our customers all out there have got good products to sell, and that the salespeople have got good sales skills. I'm sure we can all improve our sales skills, but you know, most sales teams have got a product which is good enough, at least, if not great, and salespeople with good enough skills, if not great skills. And I think in most CRM systems, you would then start to get some monitoring and sales management so that we can manage the performance of those salespeople and help them to be more successful. And obviously a CRM system, you know, or even if you don't have a CRM system, every company has got some means of tracking customers, prospects, and inquiries. So I think we can take it as read that most businesses with some reasonable systems can do all of those things. But it is surprising how often I meet companies that really don't have the real intelligence that they need on their customers and the real knowledge of products and the combination of customers and product information that they need to be successful. And the reason is that those are multi-layered challenges. And in any kind of distribution business, whether it be wholesale, traditional distribution, manufacturing with product distribution, then the amount of data that you need just goes up astronomically, and the ability for people to get all that data together in a digestible format becomes harder and harder and harder. So the sort of typical CRM customer intelligence, if you started off by saying, well, what data do salespeople need on their customers, you'd get all the basic stuff from names, contacts, email addresses, notes and follow-ups and actions, copies of documents and emails sent back and forth, perhaps some kind of demographics of what industry are they, you know, are they big customers, small customers, perhaps preferences either of that business or the individual people within that business, and obviously, you know, the inquiries that we're working on or the opportunities we're working on from those customers. And again, you know, you could get virtually any CRM system or even a few Excel spreadsheets and start to build up this intelligence and share it amongst the sales team. So, but that is only the beginning of the story. And if you get into a B2B distribution business, you've got other questions. So who stopped buying my products? You know, out of those retailers that I distribute my products to, which ones of them are actually buying less this year than they bought last year? Which ones are buying more that I need to go out and they're engaged with, and I want to build up that engagement, capitalize on that success, and make more sales to? If I'm distributing perhaps other kind of products directly to businesses, so maybe I'm selling stationery products or computer monitors or something like that, you know, who's only bought one from me? They're my transactional customer who's done a Google search or spotted one of my adverts or had one of my mailers or something, and the spur of the moment they've bought once from me. but they've not become a settled customer that buys repeatedly from me and sees me as their valued, trusted supplier for this set of products. So I definitely want to go after those people who bought once and get them to buy the second time and the third time, so they become a regular customer that looks to me for those goods rather than just doing another Google search. If I'm looking at a particular customer, what products does this customer buy? What should I be offering them? What do they not buy so that I can offer them something else? And once I've got into that area of what does this customer buy, what prices do they pay for those products? When does this customer buy? What have they bought in the last X days? If they're ringing me up and asking me for 3 monitors, do they actually already have 3 monitors on back order? Are they, is it that some different person has just rung me and is duplicating the same sales order? And if we want to get more formal about some of this analysis, we can start to look at the analyzing our customer base on an RFV, or sometimes referred to as RFM. So recency, frequency, and value analysis, or recency, frequency, and monetary value analysis. And all of those extra questions all stem from some basic, common, unique challenges that distribution businesses have over simpler service-oriented businesses, or certainly simpler from the sales perspective. Most distribution businesses have at least hundreds, if not thousands, of customer accounts, with quite often a long tail of lower value, less frequent buying customers that we just don't know very well. And if they rang us up out of the blue and we don't have the right information at our fingertips, we wouldn't be able to service them very well because we don't know them very well. We've got bigger, more memorable customers, but those customers place dozens or even hundreds of orders. And so trying to remember what they bought, what they haven't bought, what they buy, what they don't buy, what they've stopped buying, are they actually buying more or less? It can be quite hard to fathom out, particularly when some of those orders contain, just on one order, dozens or hundreds of lines. Some of those orders are quoted and processed by the sales team. We might remember what's on those orders, probably not if we're doing enough volume, but some of them are actually automated orders that might have come in from a B2B e-commerce site, or from EDI, or some other means. And so we've no chance of remembering those because we didn't even put them in. And with all of that volume, the sort of thing that some service-oriented companies might do of just simply double keying and manually updating the CRM to say this customer's bought something in the notes or just in some kind of record just isn't feasible. You'd spend all day double keying this information and still not get it right. And certainly keeping all of this data in a salesperson's head and spotting what's changed, the trends, the anomalies, the things to query, is pretty hard or nigh impossible. And certainly I've seen a bunch of companies try and get around that with multiple spreadsheets, analyzing the data in different ways, but that just creates inefficiency. And logging into inventory management systems just doesn't help either, because they're not, while they've got the data that you need, that data isn't formatted in the right way, because those systems aren't designed to drive sales. They're designed to help you ship your products out of your warehouse and buy in new products. So that is the sort of information that we need on our customers. And here I've just taken a couple of simple screenshots. We'll get into the software in a second. But just on customers, this is the sort of information that we want to know. What are the top products that customer buys? What do they buy each month? Is it going up? Is it going down? Have they bought more in the last 365 days than they did in the previous? And is this a growing customer or a declining customer? And so I think all the examples we just looked at on the customer, they're really obvious and really easy to describe. But salespeople need to know more than just information about the customers. They need to know information about the products as well. And again, in a distribution business, that product intelligence is much harder to come by. And if we go through the same exercise and talk about what do salespeople need to know about their products rather than their customers, it's fairly obvious. Things like they have to know the features and benefits, they have to know some technical facts, some use cases. What are these products used for? Maybe they need to know some success stories, case studies, and references if they're trying to sign up new customers, and they need to know something about the pricing. But then you've got more information as you drill into this. So who buys this product? Does this particular customer I'm about to talk to about this product have special pricing and discounts for that product? So, a product might have one standard price, but could have thousands of combinations of prices by the time you've got volume discounts, different customers, different price bands, different currencies, and even different historical prices I need to look at. Who have we recently quoted for this product? Did they buy it? If they did, can I give them as a reference? If they didn't buy it, why not? Who are the top customers for this product? And even some basic questions like, do we actually have any in stock? That isn't as straightforward a question as it might seem. I mean, do we have any in stock is a simple question, but if we don't, do we have any more coming in? And if there is some more coming in, is that future stock already sold and already committed to somebody? So on what date will some be available? Can I say to my customer, sorry, you can't have any today, but you can have some on Wednesday next week? And of course, when you're talking about distribution businesses and a wide range of products, you can get into quite a lot of more specialized questions where the salespeople need to be armed with the right information. So does this product come in a pack? And if so, what are the pack sizes? Not just one pack size, but it might be they come in boxes and then those boxes come in pallets. Perhaps in some scenarios, is this customer authorized to purchase this product? So we might have some products which are particularly technical, where you have to be qualified, either because we just want to maintain the value proposition of our products, or because there's particular health and safety requirements or particular installation skills required. And so maybe only some customers are authorized to sell certain products. Or there might be branding reasons. So we might have a branded version of our standard goods that are branded specifically for the Whitbread Brewery Company with their coat of arms on it, and we can only sell this range of products to Whitbread. Or there's just very high-end brands, so we sell mountain bikes, for instance, and the top end of our mountain bikes have to be sold to particular retailers who've got the right branding. Quite often, when I'm distributing products, I might have customers asking me to, if we've got any products, and quoting me the supplier's product code, or even the competitor's part code, or some other search term. They use the word sofa and I use the word couch. And if I don't have any of those products, or if I perhaps even want to upsell, have I got alternate products that relate to this item? Are there upsell products where I can maybe get the customer to buy a slightly better, more expensive product? Are there any kind of recommended products that are recommended or required to go with this? So if I'm selling you a table, do I also need to sell you the table legs? And has my customer previously bought this item? When? At what price? So if they ring up and say, have you got any of these and how much are they? And I say they're £100. If the customer then turns around and says, I'm sure I bought those for £50 last time, we need to be able to look there and then really quickly and see if that was true, and maybe say, yes, you did, but that was 3 years ago. Or no, you definitely didn't. You've been buying this for the last 3 months and they've all been at £99 or whatever. So there's an enormous amount of product information that, as a salesperson, if I want to be a really successful salesperson in a distribution business, I need to be really knowledgeable in front of my customer, and quickly knowledgeable. We haven't got time, and customers don't want to wait around while I research this information. Customers don't want me to ring them back later or send them an email to follow up. They want me as the salesperson to know this information and be able to give them really good service. So let's take a look at how we can answer some of those questions using, in many cases, data that you've already got in your Unleashed inventory management system, in your ERP system, but perhaps where the salespeople don't have this information in the right format at their fingertips ready to go. So here's an example customer. And if I just go back to the kind of front page, this is some of the information that you were seeing before. So in those screenshots I had, so this particular customer, Ben's Emporium, one of my favorite customers, has spent £248,000 with us in the last 365 days, up 2,747%. So they're one of my really great customers. And so far, they've spent £80,000 this year. So, and if I want to see more detail on that, I can actually click through and see the actual sales. So here we're looking at the actual sales transactions. And I can actually filter this to just the orders they've placed in the last 30 days, or just the outstanding sales orders, or just what they've bought in the last 90 days, or by product or whatever. I've also got sales analysis, which just kind of analyzes that data to, for instance, tell me what are the top products this customer buys. So they've been buying clearly a lot of expensive wooden bookshelves, 14 of them, in fact, across 5 different orders. They've been buying other bookshelves, 170 bookshelves in total, lots of different chairs, etc. And perhaps if I want to see a trend, I can see that, actually, this has been growing since 2018. They bought just a few orders every month, spending a fairly small amount with me. And then in 2009, that's really started to take off with 16,000, 19,000, 17,000, 13,000. So far in August, not so much, but we still got time to fix that, and we'll do that later with a quote. And obviously all sorts of other information about my customer, but this is the information about what they've been spending. And if I go and have a look at a product, so this is a lounge chair, particularly nice looking business style lounge chair we've got going on there. And obviously I can see some basic information about this product. But we talked about different terms, so we can have alternate references, or we can just have an unlimited number of additional search terms. So for instance, if our customers quite often ask us about seats, and then we type in seat as a search term, and we don't find these products because we refer to them as chairs, then I can add seat into my search terms. I can also put in competitors' part numbers to help our salespeople to find, and the customers quoting product codes at them. But I can have all sorts of other information, obviously, whether it's stocks, and we'll look at stock levels in a minute. Authorization. So does this product belong to an authorization group where customers have to be authorized to buy this particular type of product? Or is it packed in a particular way? So here I've got a type of packing set up, a configuration of packs, which is products that comes in boxes and pallets, and my glues come in boxes of tubes of glue in boxes in pallets, and we'll see how that works in a second when we look at the glues. But coming back to kind of stock information, I've got some basic information here. So what's the standard selling price? What's the standard cost price? How many have I got available? And when will some next become available? So unfortunately here we haven't got any. In fact, we've oversold to 23, and we've got no more coming in. So I'm going to struggle a little bit with this product. But if we look at the details a bit more, we can see how that's broken down by warehouse. I could perhaps look at some purchase information. I can look at the individual transactions for this product, so I can see all the different sales orders outstanding for this product, and I can get through the history and all the different invoices. But again, that's quite a lot of data. I can filter it, but if I go to the sales analysis, I can look at the same kind of be the ideal people to go for. And so we can see who, although Ben's Emporium was a big buyer of this product, actually House of Cyrene is my top customer.
And again, maybe if this product trends or if it's become quite a popular product, I can see that in the recent months this has really become quite popular. We had a big spurt of orders in May and June in 2019. We can also relate these products together as well. So, and you'll see a little bit later, maybe we'll get into some examples of this where we can relate items together. And that would give me information when I'm trying to sell them about upsells and extra items that we might sell alongside these products. So what I'm going to do now is in true Blueprint fashion, I'm just going to go to a quote that I put on earlier and just kind of go and add to this just to show you some of that information. So let's go and put our lounge chair on here. And in our lounge chair product, we've configured this with some upsells. So we've got a lounge chair, but we might want to offer the customer instead a 3-seater sofa or a 4-seater sofa. And I can switch the product to one of those, or I can switch back to the lounge chair. And it also recommends that to go with our lounge chair, we might want to add a bookshelf as well. And so as a salesperson, I can very quickly then sell that combination of lounge chair, perhaps upgrade it to a sofa or sell a bookshelf to go with it. If I go and add the glue, it knows that glues are sold in tubes, and it knows that our standard is to sell a box, which is 12 tubes. But the customer might want a lot more, so I'll say, actually, let's do 3 pallets. And the computer system automatically can work out that 3 pallets is 432 tubes because we've got 12 tubes in a box and actually 12 boxes in a pallet. So a pallet contains 144 tubes. Obviously, some other information that we talked about before was whether these items are in stock. And again, if I'm in the middle of quoting a customer, I need to know not just whether there's any in stock, but whether some more coming in. And so we can very quickly access that information as well. So I can see how many we've currently got available, if there's some in the future coming in. I can see that broken down by warehouse. And as we discussed before, I can see when this customer's last paid for it and what price they've paid. So perhaps if they tell me that they normally buy it at £14, I can say, yes, you did buy it at £14.99 in July, but the price has recently gone up, and the last time we bought it was actually £28. But perhaps because you're buying in bulk, the current price for this order is £15.99. And so I can have that intelligent conversation and be more informed than the customer with all the facts that I need, even if this is a customer that I haven't spoken to for years, and maybe even somebody that my colleague normally deals with. And so I can very quickly put my order together. One more thing I'll show you, perhaps if the customer just wants to regularly buy the same items, I can actually just get a list of all the items they regularly buy. So they normally buy some large nails, so they want 4 of those. They want 4 extra large nails, 5 of the large nails, and 2 of the medium nails. And I can just go and add all of those to the order in one go, and it'll add those in for me automatically. And again, so this is not just presenting me with the information about our products and what this customer's bought in the past, but actually giving me it in a useful format so I can very quickly add to my order the same items that customer normally buys. And obviously, you know, depending on your business model, I could start to negotiate discounts and give special pricing or whatever. But ultimately, I'll perhaps want to just quickly send that to the customer. And so here I'm just going to choose a basic email quote, and there we go. I've got my quote ready to send to my customer, and I could send that with all the product information that they need, and hopefully the customer comes back and buys this, and we can update the status. So maybe I'm going to follow this up tomorrow, so I'll set it for waiting purchase order. I can click on the next action and set a follow-up for myself, and then hopefully chase up this quote tomorrow and get my order in, and increase the sales to Ben's Emporium and the sales of one of my best-selling lounge chairs. So that was a pretty whirlwind tour of the kind of information, but hopefully you can start to see just from that very quick demonstration the difference between a salesperson who is equipped with all the information at their fingertips and software that's designed not just to give them the information that's in their inventory management system already, but give it to them in a format that makes them really successful at selling. So, you know, obviously salespeople need all sorts of skills and knowledge, but that level of customer intelligence and that level of product knowledge and the bar for what makes a good salesperson is a really high bar in a complex distribution business, and that ultimately is why businesses who are in that kind of distribution model need not just a CRM system, but a stock-aware CRM system to be successful at B2B selling. So as I say, I hope that gave you some food for thought and helped you understand the difference between traditional CRM and stock-aware CRM. If you'd like to know more, then by all means sign up for a free trial. We'd love to give you a very similar demonstration to that and show you how this works with your actual products, your customers, and give you some insights into who are your best customers, what are your best selling products, who are the customers that you need to retarget and make sure they don't drop off the purchasing. So thank you for joining me this morning. I hope you found that useful and enjoy the rest of your morning. Thank you very much.